Boom! What do we have here? It's a Fintiso, another Fintiso. I feel like we just did a Fintiso the other day. Do I have the Fintiso in question? Goddamn Fintisos. Goddamn Fintiso ran away. Alright, so I don't have the Fintiso to open this Fintiso. But I do have a Tacray. I feel like this Tacray is kind of just like a Fintiso, but it's a different thing of a Tacray. Fintiso, Tacray. There's like another one that has a very similar name. I don't know. They're all kind of the same, but they're not though, because Fintiso, it's kind of its own thing. They do pretty good stuff. Now this one looked really cool. This is the Fintiso. It doesn't say. I think it's called the Cobra. I think it's one of those Shilin blade knives. Really nice box. It's got a cool little booklet in here. I just opened it right to the right page. The Cobra. Ooh, I wanted the carbon fiber one. Why didn't I get the carbon fiber one? I think it was like 50 bucks more. That's why I didn't get the carbon fiber. This guy was on sale. Let's check him out. Okay. All right. It's got a little bit more weight to it than I thought it was gonna. I thought it was aluminum. I think it is. Okay, but it's got steel liners. Check that out. Okay. So steel liners, aluminum scales. Looks like an aluminum backspacer. Anodized aluminum, all of it. Boy, it's a little slippery maybe. Man, I hate it when the knives are too slippery. Let's get this thing put away and let's check it out. The button is nicely set down in a little well. That's pretty cool. Let's check it out. Ooh, nice. Okay. 14C 28N steel. Nicely shaped blade. Does not come down to a thin edge, though. I would say they could have got the blade a little thinner behind the edge. It's a little thick right there. You can kind of tell by how thick that line, that secondary bevel is right there. Your edge bevel. If it's thin behind the edge, usually that line right there is thin. But this is thick, so it's kind of a thick boy. But, you know, it's still nice. Jimping right there, really nice. No choke up spot because that choil is a little small and actually could be a little bigger really for actual sharpening use, just as a sharpening choil. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the back heaviness of it. So you got to go about there to be balanced when it should be about there. So not a huge deal, but you know, it matters. Pocket clip looks pretty cool. Kind of like that shape. That's pretty neat. It's got a real nice finish to it too. It's all very rounded. This pocket clip is very rounded and like they did a lot of tumbling on it maybe. I'm not sure, but has a nice, almost like a blasted satin finish. Pretty cool. I wish that finish was on the blade. It's actually not though. The blade's kind of almost looks coated. I don't think it is, but it's got a different kind of blast than this one does. I think it might be close, but it's not as cool looking. All right, let's try the button. Okay, that's pretty nice. Let's try the reverse flick. Okay, that's a really nice detent. Thumb opening's great. The regular flipper tab, not bad. Okay, yeah, I don't hate it. It could have better grip. I don't know why they go with such a smooth feeling finish. Not great. Kind of weird right there. They got this curve coming through here, and then it bumps up a little bit like right there, almost like as if you would have a lock access thing right there, but you don't. Kind of strange. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I really love it overall, in part because of the slipperiness, in part because of the weight. What is the overall weight? It's not super heavy, but I think it's a 3.1 or 2 inch blade, so it's a pretty small blade. And it feels like it's a little chunky given the blade length. So let's check it out and see what it is. I'm going to say 4 ounces. Wait, what? Okay, it's in the wrong unit. Let's see here. What do we got? So, Let's try it again. Zero it out. 3.7, 3.8. So 3.8 ounces for a aluminum handled knife with a 3.2 inch blade, I think. So yeah, it's a little too much gravity in this guy for what it is, I think. And I really wish they would have come down a little thinner on that blade. You can kind of see there how the thickness is as it comes down to the edge. It's pretty much like that all the way down. So now, is it sharp? Can it actually cut something? Pretty sharp. Maybe a little hesitant right there near the choil. Yeah, once it gets up a little further, though, it's pretty sharp. But I don't feel like it's slicey, and I think that's because it's a little thick behind the edge. It's almost like it's sharp, but it almost has to kind of fight its way through the paper. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought I would like it better. It's got a real nice, profile, real nice shape to it. And man, the slipperiness of it it's not conducive to, good hard use, or even just fidgeting. I feel like it's gonna maybe slip out of my hand. It's got a lot of cutaway inside on the steel liners, which I still don't exactly know why they needed steel liners. I guess probably so they could use the same format for a G10, for micarta, for anything they wanted to use on the scales that they would normally need a liner for. So why not just do the same thing with the aluminum? Even though you could have made it a little lighter by using solid aluminum. Probably could go a little thinner too. It's not super thick, but it's not a thin knife at all. Like this Tecray is probably substantially thinner, yeah. And this is a little nicer, I think. A little nicer thickness. You could go a little thicker and you'd still be fine, but this guy is, I don't know, 30% thicker. So a little too thick, a little too heavy, a little too slippery. Yeah, I don't know. That's too bad. Let me try it in the pocket. Not bad. Yeah, clip works great. So the pocket clip is fine. Nothing wrong there. Man, I feel like I need to put some sanding pattern in these scales so that it's not so damn slippery. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love it. So thick behind the edge. It's like a big chunky boy. Like this Tucson, that's actually a pretty chunky boy, is thinner behind the edge, even though the blade is thicker. So thicker blade, but it comes down to a better, finer edge. As you can kind of see there, how thin that sharpened edge is on this one compared to this one. And that pretty much tells you how thick the material is there right behind the edge. So, interesting. Yeah, I think you could have done a little better, Fintiso. I think you could have done a little better. It's not bad. I mean, because of how thick it is behind the edge, it almost makes it seem like, this is going to be like, it's got to be some kind of a hard use knife. But, it's a button lock. So button locks typically aren't what you would call a hard use knife. Well, that's interesting. It's got I guess it's a stop pin right there, but then it's got another stop pin that's bigger right there. The big one seems to stop this end of it, where that little piece hits it. But then it also seems like it hits this end too. It's almost like it has two stop pins that stop it on this end. So the little guy hits down inside there, and then the big guy hits on the end of this piece, it looks like. Interesting. I've never seen a knife, just a regular old knife with two stop pins that both stop the motion. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, they do. They both stop. I can see the marks on both pins. That's interesting, huh? Well, that makes it kind of interesting. It's got kind of a neat sound to it. Could be the double stop pin action. Here, listen. Yeah, it's not bad. Not the best sound ever, but it's okay. You know. Maybe make it into a Bowie. A Shilin Bowie. Don't know if they have those, but might be cool. But then it's going to be even more ass heavy if I cut the blade weight down. Maybe we could drill some holes in the handle. That would make it a little less ass heavy. We might do that just for fun. I don't think I've ever drilled holes in aluminum handles before. So we might do that. Lighten it up some. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not super impressed. I almost want to take it over to the belt sander and take the blade and run it down and put some new grind lines on it and actually thin it out just a little bit down there near the end. I don't know if I will on a $40 knife, but I was hoping for a little better Fintiso actually. Fintiso Cobra. A little slippery, a little ass heavy, a little thick behind the edge, but otherwise, not bad. Good clip. Double stop pin. Kind of a funky blue coloration on the, I assume, steel parts. These two don't match. The blue down there doesn't match the blue on these. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, Fintiso. I don't know, man. I'm going to give it a little time and we'll see. But as of now, it's not working for me. I hate to say it. Sorry, Fintiso. But the rest of you, have a nice day.